Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the British Army Future Soldier. And what we've got is a video courtesy of the British Army. I'm going to watch that for 2 minutes. I think about 2 minutes in length. And then what I'm going to do is just give you my thoughts on the Future Soldier and also some of the points that I think are quite pertinent with regards to the video. So, watch the video and then I'll give you my thoughts after. Here we go.
The character of war is changing, and the hallmarks of land warfare in the future will be characterized by an expanding, much more transparent battle space, increasing range, lethality and precision of weapons, and a growing use of autonomous systems, especially armed UAVs, and the centrality of data and the associated digital networks. We can already see the future of high-intensity conflict. It's fought at longer range on lower density battlefields, prosecuted by many fewer soldiers, but more unmanned, remote and autonomous platforms, amidst a battlefield that's more complex, urban and suburban clutter, in partnership with a mix of allies, some regular, but some irregular, but all with a real international coalition flavor. And given the unrelenting pace of technological change, which is rendering legacy capabilities obsolete ever more rapidly, the British Army is confronting a transformative opportunity. And what's being announced today is the blueprint for a world-class British Army, adapted for this new form of land competition. An army that's more global, more expeditionary and more rapidly deployable. An army that's more specialist, scalable, and networked. And an army that, when it fights, is more agile and lethal, more mobile and much better protected. It's an asymmetric army for the digital age, and it's the right solution at the right time, offering a bold ambition for the future and an exciting, challenging proposition for the army.
So I think it's a really decent video, and for anyone thinking about joining the army, you watch something like that and I think that is a really good recruiting video. Now, the first thing I want to bring up is the increasing range of weapons that we are seeing on the battlefield right now, which are generally called kinetic weapons, things that are firing artillery. But also what you've got with an increasing range of weapons, which is happening as we can see with the Ukraine-Russian war as well, is the cyber attacks, which can be done from absolutely anywhere in the world. That's one of the greatest increasing range of weapons that you're ever going to see. But with regards to the Future Soldier and how they were explaining about the increasing range of weapons, and we can see that right now with regards to the Ukraine and Russia war, whereby Russia are piling hundreds and hundreds of tanks towards Ukraine. And what Ukraine were doing, were using artillery along with unmanned aerial sensors. So they were locating it was almost like a tank train. They were locating all of the tanks during river crossings and trying to get down roads, country roads, tracks that were slow going or perhaps no going. And they were just trying to wipe them out from hundreds of miles away with their artillery, using the use of drones. So therefore they weren't getting into that huge kinetic fight, which was essentially peer on peer or asymmetry style of war fighting. Which brings me on to my next point on the army trying to become an asymmetric fighting force, whereby if you look at the insurgency and what they did with 9/11 and how they fought within Afghan, that would be an asymmetric style fighting because they weren't matching us power for power and equipment for equipment. And what the army are trying to do at this moment in time is become a force by which we could fight any army and change our tactics at any point, and we have the equipment to do that. So essentially we then become an asymmetric force. We see what the other force are going to do, and we try and change our tactics almost to the opposite of what they're doing for us to have far more of an impact. And then the other point is the obsolete equipment, getting rid of that obsolete equipment. And what I did notice on that short video was that there wasn't a great deal of videos of tanks being on there. There were a little bit, and I get that. But when you look at the Ukraine-Russia war and you see what happens, is it the time now where perhaps tanks may not be used that frequently in the future? Or if they are, they could potentially be unmanned. They can be autonomous and actually getting essentially driven from somewhere else off the battlefield, just like you would on an Xbox, just with a controller, and someone else from there is essentially driving that tank. So if that tank does get decimated, essentially blown up, denied, then actually there's no crew in there to actually have that loss of life. So yes, what probably is going to happen is that there's going to be less people in the army in the future, but I think with regards to our evolution of technology, we can still become that stronger army. Now, I do like filming videos like this because I will get a lot of comments, especially on what I've just said and the thoughts that I've just put out there. And do you know what? I really welcome that. I'm open to people's opinions, and if you can change my mind, great, because if you think you know it all, then essentially you don't know anything. So if you do have any comments on anything, just whack them in the comment section below, and I'm always happy to engage in chat on there as well. But other than that, any other questions about the military, please just ask, and I always get back to them all. Take care. Bye.